Hello everyone, it is Erin Floater here, and I am here with a Bujo Basics video. And this one I wanted to talk about the original bullet journal method and the intention behind the original bullet journal method. So for my purposes, I have never done the original bullet journal method because when I was assessing this system, first of all, I joined a little bit into 2015 when this system first came out, and it started to become more popular right away in the art type of communities. And so from the get-go, I had never seen anyone do the original method. I had only seen people do a more decorative version of the original method and adding on other things that were never even a part of the original method. So if you are new to the bullet journal community, you may not know where the basics of this whole trend, I guess, came about. So the original method breaks down into 6 categories. There is an index, there's a future log, there's a monthly log, a daily log, rapid logging, and migration. So all of these can kind of go together. So you would start off with your index. This is your first 2 pages. Sometimes people do 4 pages, depending on how many entries they would need to make into an index, where you log your page number and the subject of that page. You would then move on to a future log where you do like a 6-month or a 12-month at a glance, where you can put things from your daily or your rapid logs into the future log if it occurs more than 1 month in the future. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. The monthly log is a vertical monthly calendar, numbered 1 through 31, or however many days there are in the month, and the notation of the day of the week, so M for Monday, T for Tuesday, etc. And that is a vertical list 1 through 31. And then in addition to having the monthly calendar where you would put events and things like that, you would also have a monthly task list. So one brain dump of your task list. There's no categories, there's no order, nothing to that effect. There's no highlighting. Honestly, the original bullet journal method is meant for just a notebook and a pen. So you're not really categorizing anything when you're doing the original method. From there are no weekly logs. You move to a daily log. So here's your May calendar. Here's your May task list. And then the next page would be Monday, May 1st, and then you would do a daily log. So that is dates with short sentences, and what you include in that section is tasks, events, and notes. And in the original method, there are very specific keys. You would use a bullet for a task, you would use an open circle for an event, or you would use a dash for a note. And then you can also star next to the task, event, or note if it is considered important or a priority. And then the rapid log is basically what you do throughout your day. So if you start your day with all of those things, you start with just a general brain dump of your tasks, your events. Throughout the day, you would take notes. If I'm working and I need to remember to email someone, then I would add that as a task, right? Or I could take a note from a phone call saying, hey, this is important information, but it's not something that I need to act on. It's just important information for me to know. For example, if the computer software was going to be shut down on May 5th and would not be back up until Tuesday, but I normally do that task on Monday, I would write a note saying software is down on Monday, complete on Tuesday, or something to that effect. Really just a note signifying that. And so your rapid log is you continuing to fill in your daily log and also as things pop up, you can fill in your monthly logs and all that kind of stuff. So additional tasks, events, and notes when they occur or when they come to your mind. And then there is migration. So at the end of the day, you would see what tasks need to be migrated to the next day. Or if there is something that you logged, say there is a note on there saying Jillian's birthday party is, let's say August 10th, right? So then you would go back and you would put that in your future log. Since it's not anything having to do with that day, it's not anything that needs to get moved to the next day or get moved to the next month. It is something that occurs in the future. So you would take that note and then you would fill in your future log. So you can either strike it out if it's something that doesn't need to be done at all. Say it's a task that has become irrelevant, it's not important, what have you. For example, if I said I needed to vacuum and that was a task that I had, but my partner vacuumed, then I can strike that out because that is no longer a task that needs to be done. You can migrate forward to the next month, to the next day, or put it in your future log, as I mentioned. So those are the 6 basic concepts of the original bullet journal method. Now, you're probably saying, well, what about the other things that we often see in bullet journaling? What about a weekly log? What about habit trackers? What about mood trackers? What about all of these other types of elements that are pretty much things that are normally found in the bullet journaling community now? What about those? And how did those develop? Are those part of the original method? And the answer is no, none of those things are part of the original method. Those developed over time. A lot of what you'll see in original bullet journaling versus what it has developed to today, and you'll notice this difference between the original bullet journal method and that book that had come out, and the newest book that had come out, where it talks about a lot of these things that got added from the community, is when you are a task-driven person, you also find that you are trying to develop habits. So a lot of people developed habit trackers after the Atomic Method, the Atomic Habits book, for example. You want to see a snapshot of how that habit is developing, because it takes 60 to 90 days for a person to develop a habit. So you'll see a lot of people adding something like that to their bullet journal. When it comes to mood, a lot of people want to know, okay, these are all the things that happened today, but how was I feeling during that day? Is there a reason why I was not able to accomplish a lot? There's a lot of trends that people want to see that the original bullet journal method doesn't really take into effect, because it is so very much task driven. So it's, what do you need to do and when do you need to do it and what things are happening on what days? That is the basics of the original method. And I just wanted to let people know what the original bullet journal method is and how far things have come, and why it kind of makes sense that things have moved so far away from the original method, is because rapid logging, all that kind of stuff is really helpful. But for a lot of people where this type of system and the bullet journaling planning type system makes sense, they also like to make additional modifiers to compartmentalize, right? Or to think ahead. If you are planning and you're planning from your monthly log, well, if I know my events because I have a monthly log, then why wouldn't I set out my entire week and already fill in my events throughout the week? So you see people trying to work ahead of the schedule, because if you're filling it out that day, that hour that an event is happening, for people that like to plan, they like to think ahead of what is happening versus as it's happening. So that's why you can see a lot of things have moved forward from the original method. So that's why a weekly log is now very common, because you already know what's happening in that week because you have a monthly log. So filling in your events or certain tasks that you know that you do certain days of the week. For example, I know that I take my trash out to the curb on Monday night because Tuesday is a trash day. So I'm going to be able to put those things in ahead of time. I like to vacuum on Mondays and Thursdays, so I'm going to put those tasks in ahead of time. If I have a due date for something at work on Thursday, but it's Monday, I don't want to wait until Thursday to put down that task, and I don't want to wait or put a note in, because I'm personally not very good at recapping my day and then migrating forward. I like to, put things on the days that I intend to do them, not make a note of it and then add it to another day, if that makes sense. So that is the original bullet journal method. Those are the evolutions of the original method. I am going to, in this series, this Bujo Basic series, kind of talk about the things that have happened since the original method, but I thought it would be really, really helpful to start this series with the original method. What are the 6 basic constructs of the method, and why things have evolved, and then talk about those evolutions later. I have done a couple Bujo Basics prior to this. I've done my top 5 tips and tricks video. I've also done a top 10 stationery items that I particularly love. And now I want to get into the actual bullet journaling of the Bujo Basics series. So I hope this video was helpful. I can't wait to expand on it. Please let me know if you have any comments, questions down below that may be able to be answered in this series about habit trackers, mood trackers, how things develop, things like that. Or if you prefer the original bullet journal method, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I know those accounts are not as seen, and especially if you share on social media, I would love you to go ahead and drop your because there are a lot of people in the community that really thrive on the original method, and those are not widely shared. So I definitely want everyone to be able to see the accounts that are out there that are the original method. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.